Hello, my name is Katerina Ivanova. Currently, I'm a research assistant at Technical University of Dresden, and more precisely at the Physics of Life Cluster of Excellence. And I got my bachelor degree at the University of Ferrara in Biological Sciences. Then I wanted to pursue a more international career, so I decided to join a master program at TU Dresden, which is molecular bioengineering. And afterwards, I got the possibility to work here as a research associate first at Leibniz Institute for Solid State and Materials. I graduated in 2021, so since then I worked there for 2 years. And just on Friday, I started this new research assistant job at Technical University of Dresden. So basically, I'm a researcher in the field of microfluidics. I don't know, not a lot of people are familiar with that, even though the technique is really widely used nowadays in a lot of laboratories. And basically, it's the manipulation of fluids on the micro scale. So it's microfluidics, as I said, it's a manipulation of fluids at microscale and even actually nanoscale. There is no direct relation to bioeconomy. So as we can say, we don't develop maybe biomaterials or sustainable techniques. But anyway, you can find the relation in the fact that you are reducing the samples that you are using. And I think this is a really good contribution to bioeconomy in terms of waste of reagents, solvents. So you reduce also the chemical waste. And I developed different microfluidics technologies. Before I worked with acoustofluidics, so it's the manipulation of cells or fluids through ultrasound in these tiny channels. And now I'm in the process of setting up a new technology. The technology is not really new, but the whole setup for using it for fundamental research, creating double emulsions that are mimicking our cells in order to be able to reproduce in vitro how the cell division is working. I was kind of always as a child also into natural sciences. I wanted always to explore some processes. I was always into study how the human body is working. So I was always oriented toward biology or let's say biomedicine. And then in Italy, you have this opportunity to follow your path after the middle school. You can choose your high school, which is more oriented. So I choose this Liceo Scientifico, which is basically the high school with more scientific application, because again, I liked a lot natural sciences, mathematics and physics. And then it came naturally. I think the only choice that I've done, it was between medicine or biology, because I didn't know if I would like to be a researcher or a doctor in terms of medical doctor. And then I choose biology, and I continued my career as researcher. So usually it starts with coffee, of course, because you need a lot of concentration. Even though you are not performing experiments, for example, but just reading papers, because it's important for you to know how to proceed or to have some ideas from that. So you need a lot of concentration for that. And yes, basically it's starting with coffee, usually in front of a computer, and either you are reading your literature or you are checking your emails, because it's about meetings, updates, and of course, usually you are not alone, you are collaborating. So you have to plan properly your experiments according also to your collaborators or sometimes even suppliers. because like sometimes you don't have deliveries or something like that. And if you have something planned and everything is working out perfectly, then you're just performing your experiments and going on with them. You are collecting a lot of data, and then some days you are just, even weeks, you are analyzing, not losing, it's not losing of time, but you're spending your time basically analyzing those data. I did my bachelor in biological sciences at University of Ferrara. Then I did my master in molecular bioengineering at Technical University of Dresden. Here you have the possibility to work as student assistant in a lot of labs. So I joined as student assistant in the lab, where I then continued as research associate at Leibniz Institute for Solid State and Material. And afterwards, now I started my new job as research assistant at Technical University of Dresden. So you can go on with it, like I think for hours or days probably, because research is about everything, and you can get a lot, even from like both from personal point of view and from professional point of view, because most of the time, again, you are working within a team, so you have to know how to collaborate. You are working also between like different institutes also, or you're working among different, like, people with different backgrounds. So I think communication is really important, but first of all I would say critical thinking. This is like as a starter pack probably for the researcher in general, because like you have some hypotheses that you would like to prove, but you have to be able to know also their like weaknesses and how to overcome them, or even like turn these weak parts into strong ones, or like generate data from that. Or again, if it's about literature, you have to read, but just because it was published somewhere, maybe like nature or science, you don't have to immediately believe it. You have to, like, again, critically think about it and say, hey, is this real? Is this doable? How can I do it? How can I reproduce it? Or like, what is missing here? Yes. So of course that data analysis, because research again is about a lot of data, and you have to be able to organize them first of all, then analyze them, and then present them. So here we can connect again presentation, because you have a lot of presentations to your group meeting, maybe within your institute, to external partners also. And during my career, for example, I had also to present my technique to general public, for example, because here we have like Dresden Long Night of Science. So all the institutes, for example, are opening up, usually it's June, July, they're opening up to the general public, and everyone can come in. And of course you have to tell, hey, we're doing this and that here with basically your money, because those are like taxes money. And so like you have to be a good presenter for everyone basically, and also sometimes your family, because I'm coming from family like nobody did research or studied there, so sometimes they are asking, hey, what you are doing, and you have to explain with your hands like basic stuff and simplify a lot to be able to like deliver the message. Yes, and then you have also a lot of technical skills, which are, I would say, depending on the skills, on the field. So in my field, for example, it is really important to know what is soft lithography or photolithography. So photolithography is patterning with the light, for example, and you need for creating it like molds. And then you have soft lithography. So you're using plastics for getting prototypes of your devices. and yeah, like fluid mechanics or stuff like that. So like technical skills are really hard to classify or tell, because I will say they're really subjective and yeah, personal. From my point of view, with the skills, like you can do whatever you like, I realized. It's really, they are not limiting you, because thanks to critical thinking that research is teaching you, you are able to also apply the skills that you got in one field to another field. So like also you have this creativity that you are gaining with time, and so you can work both in academia if you would like to follow this path, but it's really hard and also specific, and I think you have to be really motivated, I would say, also, or also biotech industry. So collaborations are both the like strengths and also challenges in this case, because again, you are thinking that you are able to do everything and you have your own plan, but most of the time you are not by your own. You are also depending on someone, and a lot of projects, especially big projects, are a collaboration between different institutes within the same country or even European countries. So European projects, or even like countries like US or Japan, so like different continents. And it happens that it's divided by tasks. So one task is like developed in one country. You are responsible for another task, but sometimes like to be able to complete your task, you are depending on either devices or anyway like suppliers coming from other countries. So I think these are the challenges sometimes. Also, in the international environment, I think cultural background, again, it represents both like strengths but also challenge, because on one side you are enriching yourself when you are collaborating with different people, but yes, like language barriers sometimes, or again like cultural differences, so you have to adapt sort of, and sometimes it's working out, sometimes not really. So yes, and research is also unpredictable. You can plan all your experiments, you have a solid literature, so theoretical part on it, but then you are going to like do the experiments and they are delivering results that you are not expecting, or they are different and something like this. So this is also something that you have to take into account where you are choosing this path. Again, like I think because it's dynamic and it's unpredictable, like at the beginning you are kind of I think upset by this thing. When you're starting your career, you're super motivated, but then it's you are getting used to it, and not that you are like surrounding, but just you know how to deal with these things. So it's really nice. Again, I really like the international environment, getting to know new people from different backgrounds, not only cultural, but also from the point of view of studies. So you have researchers that are physicists, that are material scientists, that are engineers, mathematicians, biologists, and everyone has their own view on what you are doing, but in general, like I will say also life or determined processes, and it's really nice to integrate and collaborate. And yes, like I don't know, you have like every day you are like discovering something new about what you're doing, so your research in general, about people, and about yourself actually. So it's like a continuous evolution, and yeah, like this dynamicity is really exciting. Yeah, so as I said, microfluidics is a really vast field. So, like, there are people working on developing a device that is able to test like wastewater. I think the obvious benefit is, since it's a micro scale, you can manipulate easily a lot of reactions, and the reactions are happening really quickly. So this is the biggest advantage, I will say, of microfluidics. Yes, in terms of like sustainability, again, you are reducing waste in this way. In terms, for example, of health, COVID test is a microfluidic, paper-based technique, and we know how it was also important, the quick test, like lately in the past 3 years, for testing ourselves at home and so on. So this is about microfluidic. It can it allows us to have quick reactions, to have quick results, and I would say to then take quick decisions, like to know where and how to move properly. Yeah. Ask always questions, and like, you have to remember that there are no stupid questions. I know a lot of people are stopped, like, thinking that, oh, the class will think that I'm stupid, or like they will laugh, or the professor or teacher at school will think that I'm stupid or something like that. But like, probably because I was one of this person, to be honest. So I would really suggest, like, no matter what, just go on and ask. If it's bothering you, if it's like even your personal question, if it's even obvious, or even if like someone already explained it to you, just go on. Like, you have to take it out. My advice will be also here, like, sometimes as adults, you are getting sort of annoyed by children because they are making a lot of questions, especially like kids. They are asking why that, why everything, and starting from there, so something like kindergarten, you have to, like, not tell them what to do, I will say, but have discussions, and asking them also why you are asking this question, like why you are interested, what do you think about that. So asking their opinions. If, I don't know, they are like teenagers, they know how to use internet, and suggest them, hey, let's have a discussion. You are going maybe to, like, just search on this topic, and let's see, we can sit together, and I can tell you what, like, I think about it as an adult, and I don't know, more life experience, and I will listen what you are, what do you have, what you can say about it. Yeah. So yeah, I think dialogues, discussions, presentations are really important in this sense. Not just teaching and saying, hey, I got my degree and I know it better, or something like this.